Disney delivering its latest blow amid an ongoing proxy battle. The company getting professional in a video criticizing activist investor Nelson Peltz, attacking Peltz and his partners personally. Peltz's Trian partners called the video statements false and misleading, pointing to the stock's lackluster performance in recent years. Now, to better understand the broader landscape and goals of such activist investor fights, we are joined by Bruce Goldfarb. He is the Okapi partner, CEO, and president. Thank you for joining us here today. So we talk a lot about shareholder activism here, but maybe kind of give us a backstory or some behind-the-scenes view of what's actually going on and why we come up with these votes and how we come up with these votes in the first place.
Well, great to see you, Jared. Great to see you again, Julie. Activism is when investors start to say, I'm not happy with the price of the shares that I own. There is something that can be done to make the share price go up. And very frequently, that means we have ideas about the plan. We believe there can be better board oversight of the company, board members who can solve problems. And we are seeing that in droves this year. And companies like you've mentioned, Disney, and we saw it with Starbucks, and we are seeing it just settled now with Advance Auto Parts, and then there's Norfolk Southern. The reality is, activism means an investor is saying, I'm going to put my mouth where my money is, and I'm going to fix problems that haven't yet been addressed. And we're seeing that now, and shareholders are cheering it on, whether it's large institutions or retail investors.
Bruce, now, if I have it right, Trian is your client in this particular situation.
That's right.
So I don't know how much you can say, but I'm going to ask you about it anyway. This has gotten pretty contentious, right? I mean, in Disney, with all the power of its media might, has been on a campaign. They put out a cartoon. They put out some new material. In the face of that, how do you advise your client to be successful when, I mean, and both sides have been getting a little bit personal and nasty, one could say?
Well, you're right. There's only so many things that I can discuss that we talk about in terms of strategy, but let's appreciate that the messaging that Trian puts out is very accurate. If you own shares of Disney, you have lost value, and that there are actions that need to be taken to restore that value, to restore the magic at Disney. And effectively, it goes from the oversight level, and it's really great when companies can talk in generalities of what they're going to do, but it's about execution. And that's what activism is ultimately about. It's about the execution of a plan or the ideas that haven't been thought through. And I really can't say something that Nelson and the Trian team haven't said so effectively already about this, Julie.
Would there be any actions that Disney could take that would get Trian to back? I mean, because they have been, I mean, you talk about it is about execution, of course. They have taken some actions so far.
Well, they've made steps towards taking action, and that's why there was a proxy fight last year that was pulled back. But it's about follow through. And what can be taken this year? It seems that a lot of shareholders are saying support Trian and put some new people on the board.
I'd like to take a step back here. Just in general, think about the role of passive investing and the role that has made on shareholder votes, because you have a company like BlackRock through iShares having incredible sway over the proxies, over the potential direction of these companies. Do activist investors consult with some of these big ETF producers, and how critical is it to get them on your side?
That's the right question, because it's all about figuring out who your shareholders are, how those shareholders think, and how they're going to vote. And so part of our job as an investor response firm is we bring our clients to these investors, and we allow them to express their message and understand the process in a way where they can take action and vote. Now, ultimately, the largest institutional investors like BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street have very big sway. They own big positions. What's been very interesting in the last year or so is they've taken those positions, and BlackRock has sort of had this this concept of allowing investors to make their voting choice. And so we're seeing institutions who manage money with BlackRock making their own voting decisions. We're seeing individuals now go out and make their voting choice if they care about the process. The big challenge always is with retail shareholders, how do you get them to overcome their apathy and vote? And so part of what we do is we reach out to the retail shareholders. And you talked about messaging, you talked about cartoons and video and social media. We're making phone calls, we're sending letters, we're working through with social media to reach out to people to get them to vote.
On the behalf of companies?
We do it on behalf of companies. Lately, we've done it on behalf of investors as well.
So, because I'm curious about that, because there was a story today in the Wall Street Journal about more Americans than ever owning stocks. But they're not voting, to your point. And traditionally, I have the sort of concept in my mind of companies not necessarily wanting people to vote. They make their shareholder meetings in obscure places. It's difficult to get to. It's not as accessible. Has that improved in your view?
Well, it's changed. So, for example, meetings aren't always in obscure places. They're right on your computer.
Right.
Very few companies now actually have a live meeting. And in some instances, that's maybe a change in the system that's imperfect. On the other hand, every shareholder can figure out a way to attend the meeting. The key is not attending the meeting. The key is to express your opinion and vote. And you're also correct that individuals are largely apathetic toward voting. And when institutions own most of the shares, maybe it doesn't matter. But when you have certain companies that are widely held, owned by individuals, 20, 30, 40% of the shares, each of those votes matter, and it becomes critical to get the message out. And we've seen changes in how we reach out to people, but we've also seen changes in how they have the ability to vote. There's more online voting. With a proxy fight, you have a universal proxy card, so you can pick exactly who you want to be as your nominee.
Bruce, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks.